There's going to be a lot of movement in the quarterback market, and the Jets figure to factor into this. Could Justin Fields be coming to New York? Welcome to Jets Talk. My name's Ryan. I'll be your pilot. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before, welcome back. I love having you here. Boys and girls, I want to talk a little bit about a rumor. This one coming by way of Benjamin Albright, talking about the New York Jets could have interest in Justin Fields this offseason to back up Aaron Rodgers. So let's go into the information, where it came from, and talk about some of the circumstances on either side here. Now, this coming from Benjamin Albright, the whole conversation started in a Twitter thread, said, wouldn't be surprised to see Russell Wilson wind up in Atlanta next year on a vet minimum kind of deal. Russell Wilson has so much guaranteed money, he could sign a vet minimum deal, not count anything against the salary cap, and really go for a ring if he wanted to. And the thought is, Atlanta doesn't have a quarterback because they can't get stuff going with Robinson, Drake London, Pitts, all that good stuff. Arthur Smith resurrected Ryan Tannehill's career. Offense plays to Russell Wilson's strength. Now, Albright goes on to say, someone asked where would Justin Fields go? Because Justin Fields is originally from Georgia, not the school, but the state of. So Benjamin says, I heard a rumor that the Jets might make a play for him as a backup to Aaron Rodgers next year. So this is really kind of interesting because Justin Fields is an exciting quarterback that I think a lot of fans look to and say, well, at least that's fun to watch. You look at Zach Wilson and you're saying like, well, that's not how offense is supposed to look. Now, for me, do I see Joe Douglas, who's on the hot seat, going out and making a trade for a quarterback that he could have drafted instead of Zach Wilson? That doesn't seem to pass the sniff test to me. Like, I don't see how Joe Douglas swallows his pride so much that he goes out and trades for the quarterback he could have had in 2021. I think it's far more likely that Justin Fields goes to another team. I think the Steelers, I think Atlanta both make a lot of sense. Heck, Vegas could make a whole lot of sense as well. I think there's a lot of value to what Justin Fields can provide to a team. I just don't think it's to the Jets at this particular point in time. Like, I would think you would want someone that could run a similar style offense to Rodgers. I mean, maybe not. Maybe you're looking long-term in the future and Justin Fields wants to be in New York. It's entirely possible. I mean, there was hope that Garrett Wilson or Chris Olave, maybe one of them could shake down to the Bears in their drafts and wind up, reuniting with the Ohio State quarterback. I think that would bring a lot of excitement to our wide receiver room. I think there's definitely some degree of interest, sort of. Joe Douglas spent, a year in Chicago as, I believe it was player personnel or something like that for one season. But I don't know how many people are really still in the building from the time that Joe Douglas was there and that would know any sort of information like this. Not to mention Benjamin Albright works for the flagship radio station for the Denver Broncos. So how he knows that Russell Wilson might be going to Atlanta and that Joe Douglas might be interested in Justin Fields doesn't feel like that passes the sniff test. Now, maybe your argument is that Nathaniel Hackett, while in Denver, was interested in Justin Fields, but ended up getting a trade for Russell Wilson. And now maybe there's some parallels there because Nathaniel Hackett's here. But that's me really grasping at straws, really trying to look around. So if you're asking me, no, does not pass the sniff test. I don't buy this for a second. I would be very surprised if the Jets went this route for their backup quarterback. Now, as far as where the Jets could go, Jets are in a weird spot because Aaron Rodgers committed to more than 1 year, which means the best backup quarterbacks like a Jacoby Brissett or a Gardner Minshew may end up being out of play for the New York Jets, not just from a financial standpoint, but from a what is my opportunity standpoint. Like Aaron Rodgers saying he's coming back for multiple years, kiboshes the whole thought of I could go to a team and maybe compete or be the heir apparent to someone like Aaron Rodgers. So the Jets are kind of left holding the bag in terms of backup quarterback with who could be available and who would really be anyone that could potentially be a starter caliber backup isn't going to choose the Jets because there's no hope for the future there. So could the Jets make a move for a quarterback that people see as a high-end upside and, maybe have it for the year with Justin Fields? I don't see it. I think the Jets are going to go another route. It really would not shock me if Zach Wilson was the backup next year, because when you start filtering down some of the backup quarterbacks and you say, well, the top ones aren't going to go there because there's no future for those backup quarterbacks, and then you start considering, well, backup quarterbacks and Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson knows the system already. He knows the players already. I made the pick if I'm Joe Douglas at the number 2 spot. I think they're all tied together. I think there's a really good shot that Zach Wilson does actually come back as the backup quarterback. But no, there's no way that I see Justin Fields actually being traded for by the New York Jets when the Jets could have selected him initially at the jump. So I don't buy this for a minute. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And as always, go Jets.